Today we're exploring the animal kingdom with all the facts and tips you need to make your next trip unforgettable.
Go right back, go back, I'm ready to go. Started fires, I was off the liar. I swear the stars then, they were brighter. If I could go right back.
Animal Kingdom is the early park. It opens at 8 AM and it's normally closing around 6 or possibly 7 depending on the time of year. It actually lets you in from 7:50 AM. The park opened in 1998 on Earth Day and celebrates Disney's rich history of love with the environment. Animal Kingdom spans 580 acres, making it Disney's largest theme park. It was actually located here so that when you walk in the park in the morning, the sun would be behind you, shining on the Tree of Life, giving it its wow factor. The Animal Kingdom feels like the park where Disney has attempted to make something that once was, or the potential of what the world could be. It's an immersive animal experience where you become the child in awe and wonder. It's a park that's designed to connect people and animals through the art of storytelling. The more you look at the details of the Animal Kingdom, the more you discover. 337 animals carved into the tree, both living and honouring the extinct animals. It's fun to see how many you can spot. The tree is 145 feet tall and took 18 months to sculpt. The animals are actually sculpted from concrete and plaster. In the base of the tree is a 4D Encounter Bugs Life cinema experience, which is actually set to be replaced by a Zootopia experience in the near future. It's like around every corner there's like a party or someone dancing or some festival, and the people here are so passionate about what they do, from the enthusiasts to the dancers to the people that are representing their nations. This is a classic example. This is what's currently going on.
Hands, come on. Put your hands together, everybody. Come on. Hey, hey.
In Discovery Island, you'll also find the Baby Care Centre and the First Aid Centre as you walk towards Africa. So they have 24 explorer stations around the park where the kids can complete challenges and learn something and receive a reward. It was still fairly early in the morning, so we moved on towards Africa and did the Kilimanjaro Safari, which is actually a 110-acre guided safari, where you'll see elephants, lions, gorillas, giraffes, hippos, monkeys, okapi, tarantulas, goats, crocodiles, and so much more. You can see quite a few baobab trees, which is actually what the Tree of Life is modelled on, and is a tree that holds up to 26,000 gallons of water inside its trunk, making it the source of life, or the Tree of Life for the animals across the African savannah. Has this incredible conservation feel, and you can see it throughout the park, from its environmental efforts to conserving energy to helping animals that are on the endangered species list bring their numbers back. After finishing our safari, we went on to the Gorrilla Falls exploration, where you walk through tropical rainforests and see everything from fish to insects to hippos and gorillas. This African hippo was right next to the screen as we walked through. After finishing up with the hippos, we went on to the gorilla enclosure, which is actually a 5-acre area where there's a family of gorillas, which we were lucky enough to see. There's also a separate area where the alpha apes are kept, which can be up to 5 feet tall and weigh 430 pounds. We were amazed at just how large they get. After being very impressed with our gorilla and hippo encounter, we grabbed some breakfast from the Kusafari coffee shop. After filling up with some food and a coffee, we headed to Rafiki's Planet Watch, where we received another sticker for our book by doing a scavenger hunt. We then jumped on the Wildlife Express, which is a replica of an 1898 old steam train. We headed into the conservation station, where there are a variety of things to do and experience, where you can see the veterinary clinic, and as such performs operations like removing golf balls from a snake, inserting eyes into fish, all the normal sort of stuff that they do. We love the animation experience where we learned to draw Pumbaa. It really felt like we got to experience some of Walt's passion for observing animals and drawing them. And you can also walk into an area which exhibits Disney's commitment to wildlife preservation and conservation. At 1 PM every day, they have the behind the scenes look at how they care for the animals. We armed ourselves with some brushes and headed into the affection section, where you can brush the tummies of any of the animals roaming around, as long as they are outside the blue rope area. They also have a Komodo dragon there, but they said he wasn't brush friendly. We caught the train back to Africa to catch a performance of the Festival of the Lion King, which is an astounding show with over 50 acrobats and performers in over 130 different costumes, with monkeys on the trapeze and bouncing on the trampolines, to the love story of the birds that flies up into the air on a high wire. Watch out for the man who spins the fire, which seemed to concern our little one quite a bit, not least because he balances it on the palms of his feet. It's an absolute must-do show and a great way to get out of the heat of the day for a bit. With a spring in our step from the Festival of the Lion King, we headed next over to Asia. As you first walk into Asia, you'll notice the prayer flags, which are hung in high places in Asian countries like Nepal, so the wind catches the prayers and brings blessing and good fortune to the area. Opposite Everest, there is an authentic Nepalese splash pad next to an area with lockers where the small ones are actually free to use for up to 3 hours. All the artwork is actually original Nepalese artwork, and the totem poles are even carved by Nepalese artists. The Everest ride is wild, and it sends you backwards and hits speeds of up to 50 miles an hour, along with some incredible storytelling and a Yeti that rips the tracks apart. It is so much fun, and at 199 feet tall, it's actually Disney World's tallest ride. I've spent some time in Nepal, and like the rest of the animal kingdom, I can tell you firsthand, it is incredibly realistic. The Yak and Yeti restaurant is just next door, definitely a good option for lunch or dinner. We watched the gibbons swing across their ropes on the monkey island just next to it. The attention to detail throughout the park is incredible. I personally like the wide selection of teas that are available from the Annapur Tea Company stand. We wandered into the Maharajah jungle trek, where you can see tigers, bats, gibbons, Komodo dragons, along with a whole host of birds inside the aviaries. It's worth scanning the QR code on the way in and downloading the map so you can actually follow as you walk around the different areas. After walking around the jungle, we were getting quite hot, so we decided to head onto the Kali River Rapids to cool off, which is a rafting ride that drops you 90 feet into the swirling rapids, where you get splashed by everything from erupting volcanoes to elephants. Definitely one that's not going to leave you dry. Originally it was called the Tiger Rapids so that you could see live tigers as you went around the ride, but the practicality of bringing live tigers onto it meant that never became a reality. Our last show in Asia were the Feathered Friends in Flight show, which is a highly underrated and hilarious show, as it has so much impromptu comedy due to the birds rarely doing what they're meant to. The raven actually flew off with the presenter's microphone, and you'll be amazed at the things that they can do. Next, we moved on to the Finding Nemo show, which is a live action performance of the film. It is brilliantly done with puppetry and excellent musical performances. It's told from the perspective of the pufferfish in the dental office and has an amazing cast of musicians and performers who really do bring it to life. After finishing up with Nemo, we headed up to Donald's Dino Bash, which is a celebration area because Donald has discovered that he is related to the dinosaurs. Our little one absolutely loves the Boneyard play area and the dig site. The adventure area is enormous with caves and slides. After looking at the real life dino alligator, we grabbed a bite to eat at the quick service Restaurantosaurus. This really was a fantastic quick service experience and has a specialty s'mores ice cream shake. If you want to visit Dinoland, you should make your plans quick because they've already got plans in motion for the Central America themed area, and drawings such as the Encanto House and the Indiana Jones ride are already in preparation, so it probably won't be long before this area is shut down for refurbishment. We finished up in Dinoland with the Dinosaur Ride, where we were transported back in time to locate the missing dinosaur. This is a wild, dark ride that twists and turns at what feels like high speed. The ride will soon become the Indiana Jones ride, similar to Disneyland's. We had our own dinosaur battle in the gift shop and grabbed a few souvenirs due to one of us being dino obsessed. Dinoland is actually a great place for character meetups with Donald and Daisy, Chip and Dale. We headed back through the Discovery Island over to Pandora, and on our way we saw the winged encounters with the once endangered Macau parrots. After being dazzled by the birds, we headed over to Pandora, which we had deliberately left last. Pandora really is a wonderland, and the design of the land is just simply breathtaking. We started our Pandora adventure with the Navi River Journey, which is a boat ride through the bioluminescent world. Quite often has long wait times as the ride doesn't have a high capacity turnover for people, but it is well worth the wait with immersive projections and set designs, along with the shaman at the end, which apparently cost over $23 million to build and stands at almost 10 feet tall. After finishing on the river journey, we headed over to Disney's most popular ride, Flight of Passage. So what everyone does is they come to Pandora and they run straight to Flight of Passage in the morning. And actually it's not the right thing to do, because by 8:03, the line will actually be 80 to 90 minutes long. What you want to do is you want to wait until the very end of the day and do it as your last ride, because by that stage they've stopped fast passes and the line actually goes twice as fast. There is a reason why the lines are often over 90 minutes for it. It is so immersive. From the film production to the storytelling, even the wait feels like you're part of another world. Imagine riding a motorbike that flies and breathes while wearing 3D glasses. Yeah, and you'll start to imagine what this experience is really like. It's an absolute must-do and probably our favourite ride at Disney World. We finished up in the shop with some merchandise, just the normal light swords, dragons, tails, before grabbing a cheeseburger pod from the restaurant. This is because we'd heard so much about them. They are amazing, by the way. As we headed towards the front of the park, we passed the Tiffin's restaurant and the Nomad Lounge. We popped into one last shop on the way out to see if there are any gifts we needed for family or friends. You can literally just come here, walk around, have a coffee, watch some shows, and just really appreciate how amazing it is. It's nature walks, it's trails, looking at the jungle trek or the gorilla trek or going on a safari. It is amazing. As far as the atmosphere goes, I think it's actually one of my favorites. We had such a magical day at the Animal Kingdom. So that's our video for the week. Thank you so much for watching. If you could like it, subscribe, or even share the video, you'd be doing us a huge favor. Hope you have an amazing week. God bless.
Conservation isn't just the business of a few people. It's a matter that concerns all of us. But if we will use our riches wisely, if we will protect our wildlife, these things will last us for generations to come.